Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, heaven Godspeed.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, happy to present the Shining World Ethical Awareness Film Award to Alex Lockwood and team with a $20,000 humble token of support for your further projects, and all praise, love, and awe. May the heavens inspire and bless you for more life-saving endeavors. In the name of all grateful animal people and the planet, we thank you and salute you and all involved. The End of Medicine with Award-Winning Director Alex Lockwood, Vegan, Part 2 of 2. Continue watching to find out more.
Continue to eat animal people meat so that all your hard-earned money will pay for your suffering in the hospital.
The Apeda Evaribia means good morning in Embera, one of the languages spoken by the indigenous Embera Wonan people of Panama. I am Oana, the kind-hearted Embera Wonan people. Thank you for always choosing to live a compassionate vegan lifestyle in harmony with nature. May heaven's light shine on your minds and hearts. Delightful viewers, welcome to today's show, The End of Medicine with Award-Winning Director Alex Lockwood, Vegan, Part 2 of 2. Alex Lockwood's production company, Lockwood Film, started producing commercial films for businesses in 2012. That quickly evolved to a focus on his passion projects when they won awards at major film festivals around the globe. In 2019, Alex Lockwood won the Midlands Movie Awards for Best Short Film and Best Documentary with his film 73 Cows, which also won a BAFTA award for Best Short Film that same year. Mr. Lockwood was also a Grand Jury winner at the Awareness Film Festival for his film Test Subjects. The End of Medicine was produced by Keegan Kuhn with the help of Joaquin Phoenix and Rooney Mara. They joined forces with Alex Lockwood to send a powerful message of the dire situation at hand concerning animal people factories and the excessive use of antibiotics throughout the industry. There is an alarming increase in side effects affecting people and our planet, with governments and regulators doing little to protect their citizens.
There are lots of things happening, but they're kind of gimmicky. So in America, there are now guidelines on antibiotic use within farmed animals, but they're just guidelines. You can't get into trouble for not following the guidelines. You can still abuse the system. In the UK, we've drastically dropped the amount of antibiotics we're using, but not to a level that's safe. We've just dropped them to the point that actually if we drop them any more, then these farming practices don't function. So you can't farm these animals in a way in which is safe and not use antibiotics. And then obviously if you use antibiotics, it's not safe because of antimicrobial resistance. So nothing is being done in a big way, in a way in which is actually going to solve the issue.
Alex Lockwood's films have covered many aspects of our destructive actions to the planet, as seen in every corner of the globe, from the Amazon rainforests to the polar ice caps. We are seeing our resources diminishing and pandemics and disasters increasing. His films' narratives, with their strong moral standpoints, provoke an introspective view of our actions, often awakening viewers from a life of apathy and ignorance and reigniting a sense of self-empowerment that we can do something today by changing our habits and attitudes. One of the most powerful actions Mr. Lockwood points out starts at the dinner table as he highlights the benefits of a vegan diet.
We'll be healthier in ourselves because we'll have reduced chronic disease. And then when we do see pandemics, which there would be less of, we're less susceptible to them because the bulk of people who died with COVID-19 died of secondary bacterial infections because they had an underlying chronic disease, which is heavily linked to our consumption of animals. Obviously, we'll drastically reduce the antibiotic usage. We won't eliminate it because it's still being used in other ways and abused in other ways, but we'll massively help that problem. Obviously, then there's the environmental impacts. The fact that it's just kinder and better for animals. So it's really like all of these issues draw back to this one thing. And if we change that one thing, we can have such a positive influence on so many aspects of how we live.
What people sowed, they also reaped. What they sowed in the slaughterhouses of Smithfield, they reaped in the horrors of Mons and Gallipoli. The Reverend Dr. Walter Walsh, vegetarian.
Let us take a moment to give thanks and a prayer of protection to the loyal activists who sacrifice stable and comfortable lives to bring changes to the world. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television.
Warning: sensitive images.
Welcome back to our show, The End of Medicine, with award-winning director Alex Lockwood, Vegan, Part 2 of 2. The raw integrity in Lockwood film productions questions the very core of why we are called humans, when so many of our actions reflect that of demons. The conflicting contrast makes us question, am I also part of the problem? Or am I part of the solution to bring the word humane back to humanity? Alex Lockwood's film, The End of Medicine, highlights the use of antibiotics and negligent practices in the livestock industry and the wide-ranging cumulative effects emerging as a result.
So the CDC anticipate that the next disease to emerge will be a H5N1 emerging as a result of chicken farms. And that disease, you see fatality rates of around 60%, as opposed to with COVID, you see around 2 to 4%. And it doesn't have the capability to spread as quickly as COVID at the moment, but diseases are always mutating. And as long as it's out there, and as long as we have these huge operations where hundreds of thousands of chickens are crammed into these sheds, then the risk of these avian flus and the pigs, swine influenzas, it's always going to be there. And some of these diseases, these that have been talked about by the CDC and some of the experts in the film, it's really quite scary. And you don't want to scare people, but in a way you do, because then that's how they take action.
making a film about the pandemics as one of the side effects of industrial animal people raising operations became a reality as COVID-19 swept across the planet.
Because of COVID-19, the film had to shift to being not just a warning, but also a reaction to what's happening in the here and now, and trying to not make a COVID film, but use COVID to contextualize these other issues and to point out that COVID has had such a terrible effect, but actually the risks for other diseases emerging from factory farms, avian influenzas, is far higher. So we tried not to make a COVID film, but just to use it to sort of like contextualize things.
Lockwood Film has another project in the works, as Alex Lockwood explains.
So I think the next film is a film about rewilding and the validity of bringing back apex predators and how animal agriculture has played a huge part in eliminating so much biodiversity from our countrysides. And we look at countryside in England and you look at these plain fields and sort of this endless sort of vision of just farmland, and some people look at that and think it looks picturesque, but in reality that should just be forested land, and naturally that would be forested land. In the UK, we're one of the least biodiverse places on the face of the planet as a result of our farming practices, and we're trying to raise awareness of that, really. So that's potentially the next film. Because I think when you say rewilding, it really infuriates the farming community, and we want to kind of get them on side and say we're not against you. You know, a vegan world requires farmers. We want to kind of empower people to say, oh, actually, maybe I can make a change and I can join this side in order to do the right thing, rather than be sort of combative and say, oh, you're doing a terrible thing at the moment. So yeah, that's one of the big areas we're looking into.
A heartfelt thank you, Alex Lockwood, for your incredibly important films that are waking people up to the reality that their harmful habits are destroying our planet and themselves, and how it is so easy to change the trajectory of our world with a compassionate, plant-based diet.
Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, happy to present the Shining World Ethical Awareness Film Award to Alex Lockwood and team, with a $20,000 humble token of support for your further projects, and all praise, love and awe. May the heavens inspire and bless you for more life-saving endeavors. In the name of all grateful animal people and the planet, we thank you and salute you and all involved. Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, is deeply grateful to the most merciful, beloved God for all the financial help, comfort and support to the afflicted and needy, and/or any good cause over the years, as a humble vessel for His compassion and love toward His precious children.
For more information on Alex Lockwood and his films, please visit lockwoodfilm.com.
No to vegan, 'cause you don't live on earth forever. Well, in hell you will.
Diligent viewers, thank you for your company today. Coming up next is Virtuous Vegan People Will Be Protected by God Power, Part 3 of 5 on Between Master and Disciples, right after noteworthy news. May we all become divine extensions of God's will and live together in peace and harmony with all of Earth's inhabitants.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/VE.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/VE.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/VE.
برنامه‌های ما شامل زبان‌های بسیاری است. از این وبسایت ها دیدن فرمایید: suprememastertv.com/schedule و suprememastertv.com/ve